Sorry about that. Take two. I wonder how many live streams begin with somebody saying, sorry about that, take two. Technical difficulties, guys, but we're ready to roll here. And we're going to queue up our chat box and make sure that you are all with us. Hello, Caden. We are back. Sorry about the issues. I wonder if YouTube has done anything to like sync the file so that people who were watching the first one can continue watching onto this new one. Let's see. There we go. Farm Tour chat box is here and we're running again. Hi, Terry. Sorry for that, everybody. We will try to avoid more technical difficulties. Someday we will live stream and it will just work and everything will go smoothly and we'll have this down. But until that day, you'll get to enjoy the fun of us figuring out how to do stuff. So we got a great question from Caden and Britt. Guys, tag at Homesteady if you have questions so I can see your questions. We're just going to do a Q&A while I do the morning chores today. We were talking in the last live stream answering Maria's question about good sources for homesteading knowledge. I deleted that video, so I want to recap that quickly and then we'll go into the new questions. So Maria, good sources for homesteading knowledge for beginners. The first bit of info I said was ask the people who you're buying from. Like if you're buying pigs, before you go to pick up your pigs, go there a week or two, maybe a month, maybe 5 months ahead of time, and ask them questions and get some good answers. See their setups, really learn from them. Don't make the first time you're talking to the people that you're buying from, make it the day you're there. So they're a great source because you're going to be buying from them, so they're a great source of info. Then books over like blogs and things because, you know, the people who get to write a book, they have a bit more experience. Generally speaking, the companies that are publishing books want to see that you're actually an authority, not just that you have a really good Pinterest picture and so you're popular because of that. Finally, I don't want to put down bloggers and vloggers and stuff because I'm one of them, and there are really good sources out there, but those people, make sure when you're taking the advice of vloggers and bloggers, make sure they've been doing it for some time. You know, I would not put much faith in a video of someone doing something for the first time telling you how to do it. So if it's the first year they raised meat chickens and they're saying, if they're making a video called like trying out meat chickens, well, cool, then that's legit. If they're making a video called how to raise meat chickens and it's the first year they did it, then maybe find a different source of information. But if they've been at it a while, then they'll be a great source. And the easy way to tell, because vloggers and bloggers are vlogging and blogging, it'll be very easy to tell how long they've been at it. So you can go back in their feed, you know, hear it, hair in my mouth, sorry. That's like, there we go, that's better. Here at Homesteady, you can go back like 2.5 years of videos, and you can go back 4 or 5 years of podcasts, and you can hear that we've been doing pigs and chickens that entire time. So you know, all right, at least Ost has 5 years of experience. And even then, we're still learning. So, you know, validate your sources. Don't just look at a beautiful Pinterest picture and think that that's the answer. So that was Maria's question. Let's get into the new questions now. Caden wants to know, what are the dimensions of your barn? Guys, I like to go down the line with these questions, so get your questions in early and they will be definitely answered. The dimensions of my barn. I don't remember, Caden, exactly off the top of my head. We will go pace the barn off. But if I had to remember, I think it's something like a 16 by 16 square, something like that. We designed it, back when we designed that barn, we had a very particular idea of what we wanted in the barn. And so we put a lot of thought into the dimensions, but that was years ago. So Caden, we'll go pace the barn off when we head over there. And waiting for Homesteady. Oh, are we buffering? Looks live here. Some people say that they're buffering. I'm sorry for the trouble, guys. Sorry there's bad video for some of you. Britt, what breed of pig do I prefer? Britt wants to know. So Britt, I prefer to raise Yorkshire Landrace crosses. They are the big pink commercial breed pigs. And a lot of homestead types are down on the commercial pigs because, well, I don't actually know why they're down in those pigs. Probably because they've never raised them and don't realize that they do great on pasture, just like any heritage breed. They really enjoy being outside. But those crosses do yield more in meat quicker. They're like, you know, just like the Cornish cross yields more in meat quicker. But the difference in the heritage breeds are slower. There is no difference in taste. And I can say this with authority because I have raised them all. Okay, not every heritage breed, but I've raised Yorkshires. I've raised the Yorkshire Landrace Cross. I've raised Tamworths, Hampshires, and Berkshires. And of all those breeds, I've done the whole process, start to finish, you know, farm to table, raised them, fed them, ate them. And of all those, there was no difference in flavor. They all got a really good quality feed. They all were out on pasture, outside, in the sunshine. They all did great on that. But the Yorkshire Landrace grew bigger, quicker, and the other ones were slower. Meat quality, no difference. Bacon quality, they say Tamworth pigs are the bacon pig. I don't know. I don't know why they say that. There was no difference. So honestly, that's my preference. Now, what I always tell people who are looking to get pigs is the most important thing is not the breed. It is how you raise them, what you feed them, and what your source is. So if you have a farmer in your area, which we just talked about in the last question, who you're going to buy from, and he's willing to give you a tour of the property and explain things to you and make sure you know what you're doing, and he's really going to work with you and make sure you're off to a great start, well, then buy from him. If he's got Tamworth, cool. Tamworths will do okay. If he's got Berkshires or Hampshires or whatever, go with that farmer. So it's more, in my opinion, for beginners, it's much more important to go with the source. If you're just doing feeder pigs, you're not going to really do much for the breed. So the whole like get a heritage so that they can continue have existing. If you're going to butcher them both, you're not helping them exist. So just find a good source, and whatever they raise, go with that. With the exception of if you find one of them weird breeds that cost so much money, like those Mangalitsa's that people want a fortune for, that's a bubble. It's going to pop. The Mangalitsa, people are going to realize like Mangalitsa pork isn't worth, you know, your kid's college fund. And so don't spend too much money. Even if you have a great source, if they're asking a ton of money for a feeder pig, then maybe find somebody who's just doing regular pigs. Lucky Dog says, where do I live? Lucky Dog, we live in the beautiful, crazy, expensive state of Connecticut. So I do like the weather in Connecticut. We have a nice weather, good growing season, but it is so much money to live in Connecticut, and it makes it hard to farm because land is more expensive and everything. I'm gonna give a little toot my whistle here, guys. Plug your ears for a second. I'll cover the microphone. I want my dog to come. So let's get him. Let me know in the comments below. I covered the microphone. Was that too loud? If it was too loud, I won't do it again. Apologies. Okay, next question, Samantha. Hope you guys saved some macarons for some breakfast with coffee today. They looked amazing. They were amazing, and we saved a bunch because the girls are doing a craft fair where you go and you sell your crafts. We're not much crafters here, but obviously Kay is a fantastic baker. And so there's like a freezer full of macarons. Stacked them to the heavens. If anybody knows that reference, stack them to the heavens. I could write a song called Stack them to the Heavens. Give it a shout out. Yeah, we got a lot of macarons. JJC Juice, what chickens do we have? Right now I am getting ready to feed the cows this morning. And the way we feed the cows, our dairy girls do get some grain because especially this time of year and where we live, grain is just, it adds to their diet. I don't know all the details. Kay's the grain girl, or the cow girl here, but we do give them some grain just to supplement the diet. So I'm just pacing around here. I gotta grab 2 scoops, bring over 2 scoops. So I'm gonna go like this, 2 scoops at once. And now let's see if I can, nope, definitely can't do that. So what kind of chickens do I have? We have a mix of Rhode Island Reds, Araucana or Americanas. Look at those cute cows. And one other, my daughter has some, what does she have? Marins. They're like blue splash Marins or something funny like that. Say hello to Ladybug, coming in for her morning grain. Hello, Ladybug. Your adoring fans want to say hi. You guys can get up close to Ladybug because I have a selfie stick. We can get all up in there. Say hi. So we do give Ladybug a little bit of grain. This is a organically raised, GMO-free grain from a farm. There's Luna, everybody's favorite cow. Where's Luna Moth? There's a Luna Moth coming in. So Ladybug will let Luna have a little bit. She lets her munch a little bit. She tolerates her baby. Let's get nice and close. Say hello, Luna. Look at that precious face. Mama's like, back off. That's my baby. That's my baby. Look at those little cows. Oh, you got food on your face. Hi. Luna is our extrovert. So Ladybug, she's a bit more shy, a little more camera shy. Luna, that girl was made for YouTube. She'd probably have a selfie stick on if they made one for cows. Maybe that's an incredible niche I could go into, making selfie sticks for farm animals. I know Luna would wear one. She's all about that camera. Let's go to another question. Trevor Lyons. My chicken is acting like it has Merrick disease. However, she has been alive with it for 2 weeks. She doesn't lay egg now. Would you process her or try to save her? I'm going to be honest, Trevor. This is one of these areas I do not have any expertise in. We have never dealt with Merrick's disease, and because I've never dealt with it, I've never researched it. So instead of giving you some baloney answer like blah, 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 I have no idea, Trevor. Can't help with that one. Britt wants to know, what is the best time of year to purchase pigs that I recommend? Okay, Britt's getting a lot of questions in today. Nice work, Britt. Do not get pigs in the winter. I do not like having pigs in the winter. I was watching Al from Lumna Acres yesterday talk about pigs in the winter. You guys go check out Lumna Acres if you don't follow him already. I was like, hats off to Al for doing pigs in the winter, because I hate having pigs in the winter. They are so much work because of the water situation. So let's see if I can grab this hay bale while holding a selfie stick. The pigs' water situation is this. Pigs are heavy drinkers. They need lots of water. And, okay, you ready for this? They are incredibly, not bad with the selfie stick. They're incredibly inquisitive, and they have bad vision. So they're always walking around checking stuff out with their nose, which means they're looking around, there's the water bucket, whoop, they dumped it over. Whoop, they dumped it over for the 8th time today. So they're always dumping over water buckets, which is really obnoxious. And then they're really hard on the buckets. They will just destroy plastic buckets. Boy, we're getting low on hay here. I got a feed delivery scheduled for tomorrow, a hay delivery, but we're supposed to get snow. Leatherman, got to keep one on you at all times. Homesteady Pioneers, guys, you get a 10% discount on Leatherman knives. If you're a Homesteady Pioneer, I think you can click on the card above to become one. You get discounts, and one of those discounts is 10% off Leatherman knives. Help you pay for your Homesteady membership, and that helps us do the show. So, just a side point. I like to water pigs with the nipple waterers, and I'll walk over to the pig pad and show you what I'm talking about. But they work so much better for pigs because they can't knock them over, they can't destroy them. But unless you have a heated barn, you can't use those nipple waterers in the wintertime. So you have to use buckets, and you have to use, unless you have something heated, and it's just a mess. So my suggestion, long answer for Britt, is get your pigs spraying once the freezing's done. And once the freezing is done, you get them. This is our pig pad. Concrete pad, fencing into the concrete, house above them. And then here is our water, which is off right now, but it's a nipple waterer. I have a video showing you how to set those up. That water is connected to our frost-free hydrant, so it's constantly operational for them. And that works great for pigs. And if you raise them through the spring, summer, into fall, it's a nice time of year for pigs to grow. And as long as it's not too hot, pigs don't do well in real hot. But that's the time of year we do them every year. And if you're just doing feeder pigs, then you'll be done by the time it gets cold again. And then you don't have to mess with winter pigs and water and snow and all that. Now, I don't keep them on that concrete pad their whole life. I have that concrete pad. It's escape proof. So if they are to bust through an electric fence or a less quality fence, I can lock them down in that escape proof pig pad. It's a nice option, but I do like to get them out on dirt and grass. And so they do get out behind me in this area here and all that dirt, and we do plant grass each spring, so there's some grass in there. Okay, next question. Dieser Rottweiler. Is that like German? Dieser Rottweiler wants to know, how many layers do we have? I recently counted up our chickens. We had about 20 of them. I think that was the last live stream I did outside. Maybe not. Maybe it's a regular video. So we have about 20 layers, and that includes like our ducks and guineas and 2 roosters. So we probably have about 15 or so actual egg-laying chickens. And of those, oh, they had hay over here. Silly me. Hey, girls. You always got to be louder on the cow so you don't startle them. Of those, that's easy for me. I'm always loud. Of those, they're pretty much all at the peak point of lay. So this year we're going to get a lot of eggs, and that means I'll be probably selling some eggs this year, which will be a first for a long time. The kids usually sell to friends and family, but we haven't done like an egg stand for forever because we just haven't had enough layers all going at once. But I think this year we'll have that, so we'll see. Maybe we'll put a little egg stand up at the side. I got to clean this stall out now, and I got to get Luna out of here. Let's see if we can get Luna Moth to skedaddle. Come on, Luna. Hi, girl. Everybody say hi to Luna. Luna's saying hi to Bones. These two are kind of frenemies. Hi, Luna. Is that Bones? What do you think of him? All right, out you go. Out you go. Come on. Everybody out. All right. Let me get my pitchfork. Hi, lady. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to come back here. Still hear me? Let me know if you can still hear me. I just unplugged the microphone because I got to do some shoveling here. We'll answer our next question while we shovel. And the next question is, life in Gila Wilderness, why don't you raise rabbits? William Arnold wants to know how I met my lovely wife. And then, should JJ Juice raise alpacas? Let's cover those. And I think you can still hear me. So let's go through those. First, rabbits, lovely wife, alpacas. Okay, I'm gonna start shoveling out some poop here, and we'll talk about those questions. So first, why don't we raise rabbits? Mostly because we just haven't found a good source yet for rabbits. And I don't like to do a lot of new things at once. So if I know, like, each year if we have something new already going on, I don't want to overload us with new stuff. I think every year, a good rule for homesteaders, one new animal / plant thing, one new infrastructure project. If you do that, that's the slow and steady winning the race. You know, You'll never get super overwhelmed. You'll never crash and burn. That's a great way to do it. One new animal and one new big infrastructure project. And if one of those is really big, like cows, maybe just focus on the cows and forget the infrastructure. And then vice versa. Now that doesn't mean, the way you grow is every year you keep adding. So we already have chickens. We can still have chickens. The new animal this year is the cow. So I don't want to bring rabbits into this mix because we already have a new animal this year. And even though we had ladybug last year, we were not milking and we didn't have a calf and all that other stuff. So, sticking with that rule, this year we talked about rabbits. Every year we kind of talk about rabbits, and every year they get bumped by something kind of bigger that we want to try. But it doesn't mean we won't do rabbits. I definitely think we will do rabbits soon enough. And by that I mean like maybe next year. Okay, here's some fresh hay on the bottom. William wants to know how I met my lovely wife. My lovely wife plays piano. Oops. My lovely wife plays piano, and I record music, or I used to record music. Still kind of do. I haven't done it in a long time. But a friend of ours, mutual friend, found out that it was Kay's roommate. She found out that I recorded music. She was working on an album. She said, "Hey, will you record me? I'm doing this album." I said, "Sure, sounds fun." She said, "I'm gonna bring my friend. She plays piano." And the first night we met was, oh, sorry, Loon, was playing piano and recording music together. It was doing creative work. And we have not stopped since that first night of making beautiful music together. And that's not a euphemism. We were actually making beautiful music. So that's how I met my wife. And we're still to this day producing creative stuff, which is really one of the awesome things about YouTube and, come on, pup, podcasting, that it's enabled creative people who are ambitious, not afraid to work their butts off for something they love, which I think it's anybody, right? Everybody would work their butts off if it was for something they love. And so YouTube and podcasting and the internet has made it easier, not easy, but easier for somebody who is really passionate and really dedicated to make a living doing what they love. And you guys should do it. Not necessarily like YouTube homestead thing, unless that's what you do, but whatever you do, whatever you're passionate about, you know, find a niche and do something. A video, a podcast, a blog, whatever it is. The worst case scenario is you get to spend a little time each week doing something you love and enjoy that, you know, maybe gives you a couple extra bucks in your pocket. And best case scenario is you wind up doing it full time, doing what you love, and inspiring and sharing it with others. So, a little tangent. JJ Juice. Oh, JJ Juice says, "I think you should raise alpacas." Sorry, JJ Juice, never. I will never raise alpacas. My neighbors raise alpacas. I don't know. There's such a... We interviewed Elaine in our podcast, Elaine Van Diver from Old Homestead Alpacas, and she talked about how long it takes to turn their product into money. It's like a 2-year chain, and that's just a long time to care for an animal and not make a buck off of it. A lot of you know I'm the more business and money focused farmer homesteader here. Kay is the one who enjoys doing what I'm currently doing today a little bit more, and I kind of like the business side more. And so for me, alpacas just can't cut it. Sorry, Juice. Okay, we're gonna call the pup again. We've got the cow chores done. What do you guys want to see? Anything else? We saw the cows this morning, the cow barn. I showed you the pig pad. Here's our pastures. Let's take a beautiful look at the pastures and how they're starting to pop. The chickens are out there picking. And, probably next week I'm gonna start seeding this pasture for the new season. look up the hill. A little junky there. We'll like beep, hide the farm junk. Beautiful, beautiful place here. Got to get the eggs and the maple syrup and put some fresh hay in the nest boxes. Let's do that. And then our farm tour and morning chores are done. Next question. Raise rabbits for me, a good idea, Vanessa wants to know. So back on the rabbit subject. Vanessa, rabbits are a great animal for meat. They're much easier to process than a chicken is. I should say, so I've heard, because I've never actually processed a rabbit. But I've processed enough animals to know that the plucking of the feathers is the worst. So with a rabbit, you just skin them quick, whoop, done. So yeah, that'll be easier. And they're prolific. And they're kind of a cool, easier one to have to breed and stuff yourself. So it's a nice option for that. For if you're gonna like, I do think there are certain animals on the homestead, whoa, that fence was on, that you should let other people breed for you and not like bother with. Pigs is one of those. I do not think it's worth breeding your own pigs unless you are a giant like homestead, farmstead kind of thing. Cows, I don't think you should breed, you know, unless you're doing AI. But I also think every homestead should have some animal that they could breed. And for us, you can hear the animal that we choose to have. We have plenty of these guys. Hey, buddy. This rooster is quite friendly. He's never been mean to people. All right, on cue, good work. Just for a self-sufficiency angle, I think you should be able to breed something on your homestead. If you ever were to not be able to get breeding stock, you know, times got tough and you couldn't pick up any feeder pigs, well, we could have 100 chickens crawling around this property in a month. Because every hen could have a clutch of 12 eggs, you know, in like 15 days. We have, you know, 15 layers, and that rooster services them all. So literally in a month's time, maybe 40 days, we could have 100 chickens running around here just self-perpetuating. So maybe we couldn't get pigs or a cow, but as long as we kept the female cow alive, we'd have the milk. Come on, pup. And then we could just eat a lot of chicken and a lot of veggies. Veggies, I said that funny. Have a lot of veggies. This fresh hay is for the nest boxes. This time of year, you got to get fresh hay in those nest boxes. Otherwise, your eggs will just be gross. Let's get the eggs and the maple syrup, and then we're all done. So, let's open up our nest box here. Britt wants to know, do your kids participate in 4-H programs? Luna would be perfect for it. Our kids don't participate in 4-H right now. And nothing against 4-H. It's an awesome program. I've worked with some 4-Hers. Ah, leave it. Naughty boy picked up an egg. Mine. I've worked with some 4-H kids who are just fantastic. Jonathan, who helped me with our hydroponic system, he's a 4-Her, and they learn a ton. Mostly we haven't got involved in it just because me and Kay, our life is every day can be very different, and the schedules and things are not great for, long-term scheduling isn't great for us, so we have a hard time working with groups and programs and things like that where you need to be around for events. We're kind of wild and free people. So we always hold back on signing up for stuff like that. Okay, pup. I gave him an egg. He can have it if I let him have it. Let's see the next question here. Have I eaten Muscovy ducks? What do they taste like if I have? Yes, I have eaten Muscovy ducks. They taste like duck. They're really good. They are The older males were a nightmare to pluck. My goodness, they were so hard to pluck. So we wound up, instead of skinning them, we wound up breasting them out, which meant we had less to work with. So we did like a pulled duck. We heated it up, you know, crock pot style, made like a pulled pork, but with duck. It was really good. So Muscovies are a fantastic kind of all-around duck. You know, you don't get great egg laying out of them. You don't get, you know, the great meat out of them like a Pekin or something. But they're a nice all-around duck. They are way less messy. They have a much less of a water requirement than other ducks. So they're a really nice homestead breed if you're not hard on ducks, but you just want a couple to enjoy on the homestead. So that's kind of the niche that they fill for us. They kind of fill the multiple thing. Now, I'm allergic to duck eggs, as I've talked about in past videos. And so we only have 2 Muscovies because we got them for the duck eggs. And once we learned that I was allergic to them, and we learned because I was getting horrible stomach aches, just like out of the blue, I started getting these crazy bad stomach aches. They didn't happen the first day that I had a Muscovy egg, so you don't realize it right away. You're kind of like, it starts slow. You get ducks, you're enjoying their eggs, you're like, oh, these eggs are great, I love duck eggs. Meanwhile, like a week or 2 goes by and suddenly you're like, boy, I got a bad stomach ache this morning. And then it happens again a few days later, and again a few days later, and you're trying to figure out what is going on with me, but you don't really think about the duck eggs because it doesn't happen like day 1. It takes a little while to start happening. And so it kind of just sneaks up on you. And the way we finally figured it out is through elimination. We were like, what have we added to our diet that we didn't have before? And, oh, ducks. Well, why don't I eat regular chicken eggs today? All right, no stomach ache. And then I said to Kay, you know, don't tell me one of these mornings, make a duck egg and see what happens. And one morning she was like, all right. She made a duck egg, didn't tell me. And there I was, doubled over again. So we figured out I'm allergic to duck eggs. So maybe that'll help somebody else out there. I found a lot of people have this duck egg issue. Trevor, would you ever homestead with other people on the same property? So Trevor, like, I would never, ever, ever, ever go into like a homestead compound thing where a bunch of other families want to do homesteading, because here's the thing, homestead families they're just different kind of people, right? That's why we want to homestead. We don't want to do what everybody does. We don't want to fit in that mold, which is awesome. But that means we don't want to be told what to do. And on my property, where I'm homesteading, if you're super into something and I'm not, I don't want to fight with you over it. I want to just do what I want to do. So I would not go into another property with a bunch of other like, hey, friends, let's all buy a property together and divide it up. That's not for me. I'm not into that. Now, would I ever do that with family? I would consider moving on to a property if it was family, because, you know, family's a little bit different. But still, it would be very, very much separated. So it would be like, hey, we're all going to buy this property, and these are your 10 acres. These are my 10 acres, and this is theirs, and we're not gonna like work together on stuff unless we decide to, you know, because of some reason. But for the most part, we're just gonna do our thing and enjoy owning the property as a big family. That I might consider doing, but it has to be the right circumstances. Ultimately, I'd rather work on, you know, 5 of my own acres and do whatever the heck I want than be on 1,000 acres where I had to, like, you know, make sure everybody else was on board with it. And that's just me. You might be the kind of person who loves collaborating and working together with other people. And if that works for you, man, awesome. All right, I got a hen in here. She's gonna be unhappy if I try to take eggs out from under her. Come on, mama hen, you gonna get out of there? You gonna peck at me? I got a bunch of eggs under there. All right, I've got a few. Oh, dropped one, but it's okay. Still good. Let's say hi to Mama Hen here. We got 71 people with us this morning. Thanks for joining us, guys. Excuse me. All right, we're gonna reach into there. No more. All right, she didn't peck me. Nice, Mama Hen. One more question and we're gonna shut this down. Unmehoe wants to know, what's the price we look for in feeder pigs? Price we look for, we spend about $95 on feeders. So that's very much just like regular in Connecticut. Even a cheap Craigslist pig's like 85 bucks. So a lot of you are gonna go, what? Because in Connecticut, everything's more expensive. So you're just gonna pay more money. It's just the nature of the beast. But for us, that's a fair price. And well, I have to answer this last question because it's just funny. No, I'm not Amish. Definitely not Amish. You can see I'm like walking on an extension cord right now, guys. Not Amish. Thank you for watching the Saturday live stream. If we didn't get to your question, here's what you do. Go to any of our other videos and leave that question. And in the next day, I will look over the questions, find ones I haven't answered before. And in tomorrow's Sunday Q&A, I will answer your questions posthumously, and they'll be edited so you can get your questions even quicker. So go ahead, leave those comments in the other videos. Enjoy our other videos from this week. Thank you for joining me for the live stream, and we're gonna shut this down. I'm gonna bring my eggs and my sap inside. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend on your homestead. And if you wanna help us do the live streams and the show and everything we do, two ways. Click on the card, become a Homesteady Pioneer. It's $5 a month, and it's a huge help for production. We're doing this full time now. In return, you get bonus content, bonus podcasts, bonus classes, discounts on stuff like Leatherman knives and chicken waterers and feeders. And if you don't have extra money, totally understand. When you shop through Amazon, type in amsteady.com first. It will forward you there. Am like Amazon, steady like Homesteady. Instantly, you'll be forwarded to Amazon, but we'll get a little affiliate bonus for sending you there. And you guys don't know how big those two things are in helping us to do this every day, full time, live streaming on the weekends, all this stuff. I thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we'll talk to you. Well, you'll see you tomorrow in the Sunday Q&A video.